Hello, this is Mike Celestino with Laughing Place, and I've got this Lego Disney Train and Station set. It is a huge set, almost 3,000 pieces. It costs over $300, which is expensive for a lot of people, I know, but I am very excited to have this set. I really hope Lego continues to make Disney park sets. This is kind of a dream set for me. This is one of those sets that I was thinking about how to build on my own before they announced the official version, which is really cool. The other one that was like that was the Quickie Mart for The Simpsons, but I'm really glad that they went ahead and did an official version of both of those because I'm not a great Lego designer, and the people who work at Lego are great Lego designers. The one thing that's kind of odd about this set is it is called the Disney Train and Station. You can see this says the Disney Station right here, and this says the Disney Railroad, when in fact, as Disney fans, we know that this is, in reality, the Disneyland Main Street train station and the Disneyland Railroad. Why they wanted to be generic with it, I guess to appeal to a broader audience. This is the second large-scale Disney theme park set to come from Lego. The other one was called the Disney Castle, which also got a generic name. It was really Cinderella's Castle from Magic Kingdom and Walt Disney World. I didn't buy that set because I'm more of a Disneyland guy than a Disney World guy. I love Disney World, but Disneyland is my home theme park, the one I go to probably about once a week. So really, really cool to see the Main Street train station in Lego form. Here's the back side of the box here, and this kind of gives us an idea of what the train station looks like around back. Unfortunately, it's not complete. It's just the facade, but you do have a few different rooms here. There's like kind of a ticket counter, place to sit. There's a replica of Walt Disney's Lily Bell, the miniature railroad here. This is kind of cool too. There's a box representing the Disney Castle set that Mickey's working on building here. We're going to check that out. And the really neat thing about this set is that it actually moves. The train actually moves. With a downloadable app, you can control it. There's a battery-powered motor inside the tender here. And it comes with, for the first time ever in Lego minifigure form, Goofy. Plus you got Chip and Dale as conductors. Mickey is the engineer. And then Minnie looks very similar to her collectible minifigure series version, except she's got a cloth skirt. So a lot to look at. We're gonna open this baby up. I'm gonna build it in fast motion, and then I'll review it, and we'll go through every little detail that I can see. I'm excited. I hope you are too. Let's get going. By the way, this is set number 71044. It's recommended for ages 12 and up. And it's been sitting here in my living room for about a week and a half, which I've been itching to open it up and build it, but we've had such a crazy busy time with D23 Expo and the start of the Halloween season here in Southern California at all the theme parks that I just haven't had time. But I'm so psyched to finally dump this out. I cut open the box there, and this is my first time checking out what's inside, and that's what we've got. We've got a lot of track pieces, which is cool because we can build an entire loop of track with this, which you would want with the train. So the train can go around the track, and then a whole bunch of bags of pieces. So I'm going to organize these by number real quickly. Of course, you've also got the instruction manual and a few sticker sheets, it looks like. This set has quite a few stickers. It's a large set. Let's see. Some Disney logos, Mickey ear, Mickey shapes. So those are the stickers, and then a pretty thick instruction manual, and there's actually 4 individual books needed to construct this entire build. I'm going to organize all this by number. Okay, we've got 18 total bags of pieces, 18 steps in building the Disney train and station. Doesn't look like each bag has a tremendous amount of pieces, so what I'm going to do is put away everything but step number 1, and we'll get cracking on that. Outside of the 18 bags of pieces, we've also got these. There's some plates here, and the motor, and the tracks, and the train wheels. These are kind of separate from the individual numbers, but those will come up in the instructions as well. For now, I'm just going to leave them right here so we know where they are, and we'll dump out bag number 1, which has Mickey. Put him together real quick. So there's Conductor Mickey. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a hat, but we'll take a closer look at him later on. Then we'll get out our instruction manual here so we're ready to go. Flip to the first step. Some information about the set and how it was designed in there. So that's cool. Photos of the real place at Disneyland. And we're going to get cracking here. And we're going to go into fast motion. The next time I talk to you, we'll be completely done. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Okay guys, I finished building it. It took me most of the day to do this. I don't recommend doing it in one day. This is probably a good 2 or 3 day project, especially if you're doing it with your kids. But if you're crazy like me and you're doing it for a YouTube video, you can put it together in one day if you really rush through it. The first thing that jumps out at me, especially while I was building it, is that the train itself is probably about twice as large as I thought it was going to be. The train station is about the same size that I pictured from the images on the box back there. But the train is really big. I had cleared off a space on my shelf to put this entire set, including the train and the station, and the space is about half as big as it needs to be to fit the length of the train. For some reason in my head, I had it pictured as about 2/3 maybe as large as this, if that. And then the other thing that jumps out at me, this is the orientation that you see on the box over there. See the train and the station on the box? And I've got it in that same orientation here. And if you know Disneyland, you know one thing. The train doesn't go this direction. It goes this direction. Oh, the magnet came loose. So the cars are connected by these magnets. See, it just pops together right like that. And then we've got the boarding side of this passenger car is on the wrong side, so we can fix that very easily by disconnecting that, flipping that around. That pops together like that, and that pops together like that. So there we go. Now we got it going the right direction, and the passengers can board from the station on the correct side over there like you're at the park. Okay, the other cool thing that I definitely want to show you is the inside of the Lilybell car, the caboose here, which is very fancy, just like it is in the park. And this comes off like, let me see, there we go. And then inside we've got a few really nice looking chairs, as you would see in the Lilybell. Then you've got a little tea set, the teapot, a teacup on a nice little side table there with a flower pot, a few flowers in a flower pot there. It's all very nice looking and very cozy and fancy, like you would see on the Lilybell in Disneyland, which is very cool. So I'm glad that they went through the trouble of including that. Let's spin this back around and reattach it. Okay, and then we'll take a closer look at some of the other cars. Here's the engine at the front. Love the detail on this. This was actually kind of tricky to put together. Probably one of the more complex builds I've ever done for Lego, and I did a couple things wrong actually while I was doing it, and I'm a pretty experienced Lego builder, so be careful as you're building this. I kind of realized that I had done a couple things wrong as I was building. I had to go back and make some corrections, but I really love the detail here, and they captured the look of the train pretty perfectly. It's pretty unmistakably the Disneyland Railroad with the smokestack and the bell here. All the little details are perfect, and the wheels spin. We're going to put it on the track a little bit later. Of course, the generic name Disney Train still bothers me a little bit, but you could probably make a custom label if you want to correct it to the way it's supposed to look. Here's the tinder where the battery box and the motor live for the Lego set, and they made it look like the tinder where the coal is stored on the railroad. It's pretty cool that they replicated this part of the train as well. I really like how this was done. Very simple, and it does its job. It hides the motor, and later on we're gonna fire it up and see how that works. You need to download the app. Here's the passenger car. Of course, this is where you'd sit looking out to the side. There are trains at Disneyland that look forward, but this is replicating one of the ones that look into the park as you're passing by all the fun things to look at, and you're looking at the dioramas near Tomorrowland, the Grand Canyon, and Primeval World, that kind of thing. And love the stripe, blue and white stripes going down the canopy here and on the side. And of course you need the steps to climb up into the passenger car, so that's cool. Reconnect that, and we'll reconnect the Lily Bell. Here's some stickers that were on the side. I never love when they do stickers in Lego sets because I'm bad at applying them. I tried real hard to get them straight this time, and I was kind of hit or miss, but there are a lot of stickers in this set. There were 3 whole sheets of stickers. So I'm going to spin the train around here, and then we'll take a closer look at the train station. Slide this up closer to me. This is the front side of the train station. This is for 64 plus years the first thing you see when you walk into the happiest place on earth at Disneyland. This is the front side facing the entrance to the Disneyland main entrance plaza there. Let's take a quick look at the minifigures. Got them standing outside here. There's Chip and Dale as conductors, and I really like their outfits. Let's take a closer look here. It's got like the pocket watch and stuff, and they both have different prints on their torsos, despite the fact that they're both conductors. Now, Chip and Dale were available in the Lego Disney Minifigures Series 2. Here's the back side. But obviously that was in their regular, fur-covered brown forms. This time we've got them dressed as train conductors. So let's put them back here. They've got the half-size legs that were introduced in the Harry Potter Lego series to make them a little bit shorter, but not all the way down to child size. Here's Mickey as the train engineer. I would have loved if Mickey had come with the engineer hat, but sadly he does not. He does have the handkerchief there and the overalls. Here's the back side. The back side of the handkerchief, you can see the knot and the buttons on the overalls. Otherwise, we've gotten Mickey before in the minifigure series and a couple other sets. Here's Minnie. The only real difference between Minnie here and what we've seen before is that she's got a cloth skirt now instead of the plastic skirt that we've seen in the other times that she's appeared. But that's about it for Minnie. And then the big get for this set, hopefully he's gonna be available somewhere else, because I can't see a lot of people plunking down $320 just to get Goofy, if you want Goofy real bad. But as of right now, let's get him in focus. This is the only place you can get a Goofy minifigure is right here in the Disney Train and Station set. And people have been asking for him for a while. He was in demand for when they did minifigure series 2. People were asking for him, but they did not do him there. They put him in the Train and Station set. There's the backside of Goofy. Really captured that character pretty well, and I'm a Goofy fan, so I'm glad to have that. And then, like the rest of the set, they've replaced the Disneyland specific signage with very generic. This is kind of a joke. This is as elevation 138 bricks. So they changed that to kind of a Lego in joke. And then this just says Disney Railroad here. population 22 million. And then you've got the clock, famous clock on the Disneyland Main Street station, and two generic flags. There's a flag that just says Disney, and then you've got the Mickey Mouse tri-circle insignia. The detailing on the exterior is fantastic. This was one of the more tedious things to build, but I think it was totally worth it. There's a lot of repetition building this brickwork here on these gray bricks on the side, and then building the windows. You got to do this stuff over and over again. If you've built the Ghostbusters firehouse, which I have right over there, that has even more repetition of the same idea of that brickwork. And this is a smaller building than the firehouse, but I feel like there were more small pieces that went into this one. Like, look at this. This is meant to be like wrought iron ornamentation on the top of the building here. And it's really just a bunch of Lego handcuffs that are not even linked together, but just kind of next to each other, overlapping. I thought that was a pretty unique usage of those handcuffs. Here's the left side, and all these doors open inward. And I like the archways over the doors. The light fixtures here are clear, transparent minifigure heads with paint rollers. This is a Lego minifigure paint roller and a little disc there, so that's kind of neat. There's more of them here and another one here. There's a little balcony here with a clear door and more of these archways, and there's two more light fixtures here that are just the minifigure, the transparent minifigure heads. Here's the right side. A lot of brick, these brickwork type pieces, and more of these gray side brick pieces that, again, like in the Ghostbuster house, very similar process putting that together, but this was very repetitive doing all those. And then another window on the side. And now let's take a look around the back side. Unfortunately, the Disney train station from Lego is not a complete building, it's just a facade, which makes me a little bit sad, but I understand it would cost even more than it does now to have the full building around back as well. But the good thing about Lego is it's always customizable. You can always, if you happen to have the money, which is rare, I understand, and I don't have enough to buy two of these, but ideally you'd get two of these sets, and if you're good at customizing Lego, you could build the back half of the Disney train station. It's an expensive set, I understand. Not a lot of people are going to be able to do that. But if I'm ever super wealthy and I have a lot of room and a lot of money, and I get better at customizing Lego, that might be something I want to do. I've always kind of daydreamed about building all of Disneyland in Lego form, which would cost many, many thousands of dollars, probably more. But it's always been like a bucket list kind of thing for me. So maybe someday I'll look into that. Let's start up here with this kind of little hidden detail. So this is kind of another little Lego in-joke. You have this little box here, which is a printed piece. It's not a sticker. And it represents the box that held the Lego Disney Castle. Lego Disney Castle set that came out a few years ago, which I did not buy, again, because it was a Walt Disney World set. I'm not a Walt Disney World regular. I'd go there every once in a while, but I'm a Disneyland guy, so I was waiting for Disneyland sets, which we finally have one now. And there in the back is the Cinderella Castle, the Lego Disney Castle, which it's weird that, this is a Disneyland building, but we have a Walt Disney World building set inside. But I kind of get the joke. This is a minifigure scale version of the only other Disney Parks Lego set that has been released so far. I hope they make more. Here's these are supposed to be Walt Disney's miniature trains. There's two of them. There's one on this floor. First of all, if you've been inside the Disneyland Main Street train station, you know there's not two floors. This is something they made up for this set. But I guess just to give it a little bit more playability and use the space that they had available to them. But if you go to Disneyland, you can't go to the second floor of the Main Street train station. But they included these miniature trains. There's one on the second floor and one on the bottom floor. One is supposed to be the Lily Bell, Walt Disney's miniature train. I don't remember there being two in there. Maybe I'm not remembering correctly, but last time I checked there were not two miniature trains in that train station, but I guess they're just filling up the space. I know the one that's in Disneyland is a replica of Walt Disney's miniature train that he would ride around his backyard. It's not the original, as far as I recall. This is just a plant. It's kind of an interesting way to make a plant back there. They use these green blades in a pot looking thing. So that's cool. They put some greenery in there. And then I really like the way they did these curtains with the hanging tassels here. And these are stickers on the top to make it look like they're folding curtains. And then there's stickers representing a rug down underneath them. And then over on this side, we got another nice looking comfy chair, fancy looking chair with a place to sit down and enjoy another cup of tea. So that's neat. You can see those holes. Those are the back sides of how you build the windows here with those eaves coming, the awnings coming out. Here's a chandelier, which is pretty cool, and this kind of will swing back and forth and spin around if you wanted to. Again, made up of transparent minifigure heads. Then inside the lobby here you have a scale right there, and then there's a poster that says, let's see, what does it say? Jump aboard Main Station. Not Main Street Station, but Main Station. There's another clock back there. Let's zoom in a little. I know it's kind of dark because I'm blocking the light, but there's an umbrella holder, the few umbrellas in it. Then there's a painting or picture of the Disneyland monorail, which is cool. And then a picture of a train on a trestle. And then this is something that Disneyland geeks are going to geek out about, is this little Lego version of a Disneyland Main Street garbage can, trash can. That's pretty neat. And those are stickers, or one sticker on the side there, and it's brick built. Then there's a bench, and then we've got a ticket desk, which is another thing that is not really, this is, I mean, it's kind of an approximation of what you would see inside there. Again, if you go inside the Main Street train station, it doesn't really have this layout, but it's the kind of thing you would see in a train station, so I don't fault them for wanting to populate this space a little bit more. The one in the park is a little more wide open and not as much like crowding the walkway, because you got to get a lot of guests through there. And then there's a photograph of, maybe looks like, oh, this is probably supposed to be Walt. I'm just realizing that now. Let's see, what does that say? Oh, give me some focus there. I can't read it. There's some words there. Oh, it just says Disney Railroad. Yeah, but I think that's supposed to be Walt, because he got the little mustache. So that's a nice little kind of Easter egg that Walt got some minifigure recognition, even though, you know, it would be really cool if they made a Walt Disney minifigure in one of these sets. But I think that's got to be a reference to Walt there, I would say. And then as a little ticket sign here, it tells you the price And then you got flowers again. You got some envelopes. This other miniature train. And then another door leading out. So that's the train station. I really like it. I really love all the detail. It was a long process to put together. Again, I would recommend taking your time with it. I kind of rushed through it for the sake of this review because I'm already late doing it because it came out earlier. Came out for everybody on September 1st, and then it was available for like 10 days before that for LEGO VIP members. So a little bit late doing this review, but I really love this set. I'm so impressed. I'm so glad that they're doing more Disney park stuff. But now, what we're going to do is set up the tracks and put this baby on the tracks and see what it looks like in motion. So here we go. Okay, so I've installed the LEGO Powered Up app as it told me to in the instructions here. And right now it is syncing, or I guess updating the software or whatever in the motor. Oh, where's the focus? Here we go. So the light's blinking and we're at, oh, where'd it go? 74%. So just a little bit, we'll be ready to drive the train. This is, by the way, this is all the track that came in the set. This full loop of track. It goes around the train station with a good amount of clearance. But like I was saying earlier, if you wanted to expand this and continue building your own Disneyland, you're going to need a lot more track to get around the whole park. All right, here we go. We're ready. And it lets you choose between two maps. Now there's a wintertime version or a kind of spring or summertime version, and they both look kind of like Disneyland, but they're definitely like fantasized imaginary versions of Disneyland. Let's go to the summer version. You can see it's kind of a Disneyland type layout, but not exactly Disneyland. It's a imaginary version of Disneyland, and that looks more like the Cinderella castle, obviously there. So they're kind of making their own like Lego version of an idealized Disney park. But we're gonna fire this baby up. We're gonna close up the battery compartment there so you don't see that light. And let's see, what do we want to do? We gotta press plus. Look at that! Oh my gosh! And the app is making those chug noises, and the train's going around the train station. That's great. Wow, that's cool. Let's see if we can make it go backwards. So you got forward, you got backwards. There's a train whistle. There's a bell. There's a cat. Let's switch it back to forward here. Okay, and there's also stop. And that puts on the brakes. And then there's music. Apparently the music won't play while you're... Oh, there it goes, there it goes. That's pretty swell, you guys. My cat likes it too. No, she's just scared. She's just scared. So that's the Disney train and station. Pretty good. Let's see. Oh, you can make it go faster. You press the plus button. Whoa! It's got multiple speeds. That's a little too fast. Slow it down by one. Pretty good. Disney train and station. This is Mike Celestino with Laughing Place. My cat's freaking out. See you real soon.